Okay. Okay, I believe we are back online, and we are back online on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and we must continue. We must continue. Sorry for that interruption, great and wonderful people of Biafra. Kindly share the video as you are joining us back online. Share the video. Share the video as you are joining us back online. We are back. We are back to continue where we've stopped. Share and alert others that we are back. We cannot give up. We cannot give up. We understand that resilience is what we need, and it is what we are pushing. We are not going to go back. Welcome back on YouTube. Those of you who are watching back on YouTube, my apologies for that interruption. It was I didn't know what happened to my audio. So, but welcome back to it. Welcome back to it. Share the video. Click the like button on the YouTube and on Facebook, and even retweet the video as we proceed. Just like I was saying before we were interrupted, I am telling you about what we are talking about. Asari Dokubo being banned from coming to Asari, the military ordeal in Niger State, and the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu upcoming court case. We are well aware that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime, and we stand on the appeal court verdict. Somebody is telling me that the audio issue continues. I think you should double check your phone. Check your phone. The audio issue is basically coming from your phone. The audio is actually perfectly fine. The audio is perfectly fine. The audio is perfectly fine. The audio is perfectly fine. Please, somebody else confirm to me. Let me. Okay. The audio is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Double check your phone. If you cannot have audio from your phone on Facebook, let me also check on Facebook. The Facebook is in my ear, so I can hear everything. The audio is perfectly fine. I don't know what's wrong with your phone. And double check your phone, and I believe I know you to be interrupting me, but check your phone. That's all I can say for now. So, great and wonderful people, we must stand on that note that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be released in this upcoming case. Yes, YouTube is okay. Thank you, Agnes Chukwu Emeka. We are standing on that, on this hour, on our, we are taking a stand that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be released in the 24th of September 2023, because it is the upcoming court proceeding, and if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not released, we will assume, or we will actually confirm, not actually assume, that the criminal element that is in Biafra land using the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the criminal in Finland, we will assume that also the judiciary is actually masterminding what is happening in Biafra land. Because in this case, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu holds no threat to anybody. That is the reason why the court of the competent jurisdiction discharged and acquitted him, and tell Nigeria to compensate him for committing an act of terrorism against him. So there is no way he will we have imagined all this suffering on the eastern path, which is the Biafra land of Nigeria. And at the end of the day, the judiciary will come and give us another postponement. No, because it is very, very important for our people to know. Verifying the issue, the verdict that was given to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu by appeal court. Appeal court was where the verdict was issued. This is not like we have shifted the case to Supreme Court. Everything is still in appeal court. Everything is happening in appeal court. So why then all this taking of time? And it is actually the first time I have heard, the first time I have seen, maybe I might be uninformed in that regard, when a particular court give a verdict and then the same particular court will check if the verdict that they give is actually, authentic. So, the Court of Appeal gave a verdict for the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be released. The Court of Appeal now, there was an order for stay of execution from the Malami, who is seen to be a criminal suspect of looting the state fund, of selling the state asset without remitting the money. The same man has the audacity to commit all this crime and now come back to, call somebody a threat to the Nigeria state. Now, if you can loot a Nigeria state money, if you can loot like a country, state money, the money that can be used for infrastructural development, the money that can be used for hospital, the money that can be used to, develop the school infrastructure or build hospitals. Somebody embezzled this money. People are dying because of, poor hospital that you have in Nigeria. Who is killing those people that are dying for the sake of poor hospital? That money can be used for anything, development in Nigeria. So why is this money stolen from by one person? And not only that he stole this money, the man who applied for stay of execution. Because the reason why I am going to bring his chapter is for you to know that this person must recuse himself, because if that person is no longer active in the case of which he applied or he stayed execution, in the authority of him being an attorney general at that point in time, such a person, such case must be nullified, because who is standing for, to challenge the appeal court verdict when he is no longer there? It was Abubakar Malami who pushed that stay of execution. Abubakar Malami is no longer on seat right now. And the same Abubakar Malami is answering a criminal charges. The same Abubakar Malami is answering a criminal charges. The same Abubakar Malami who actually prosecuted a whistleblower. Now, let me read something for you so that you will understand how Nigeria works, because you will understand that there are two people who committed a crime. One person is actually being treated like a criminal, while the other one is actually flying like a bird. Listen to this. There is something I want to read for you about how whistleblowers was treated in Nigeria by Abubakar Malami. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. I am not sure what exactly is going on Facebook, but whatever is going on Facebook, we are going to defeat all of it. I am not sure what's going on Facebook, but we will defeat all of it. Listen to this one. Let me read something for you about Abubakar Malami. Whistleblower reveal how Attorney General Malami. Maybe I have to bring it to your screen so that you will read with me, because it is actually worth reading with me. I believe it is quite clear, right? It is quite clear. Let me put it on side that you may be seeing, because when I read it alone. Now, let us read this thing, because the reason why I have to bring it up, it is for all of us to read together. Whistleblower reveals how Attorney General Malami, CBN Governor MFL, former chairman of Governors Forum Yaris, others defrauded Nigeria in multi-billion naira Paris Club refunds. Multi-billion naira Paris Club refund. Now, this is the man who decided that he will go out there and go through the back door, rendition Mazen Nnamdi Kanu on the order of Britain. Europeans. Now, a whistleblower has called on the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, to invite the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, to explain his role in fraudulent diversion of Paris State and local government loan fund. Accusing Emefiele, accusing Emefiele of financial malpractice. The BMC asks NFIU to request the CBN boss to produce President Muhammad Buhari's directive on the payment of $350 million to leaners from the Paris Club refund. Now, it also accused the former chairman of Nigeria Governor Forum, Abdulaziz Yaris Abubakar, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, of conspiracy to defraud the federal government and request the Financial Intelligence Unit to invite Abubakar to explain his contractual relationship with the Bureau de Change Operators, BDCs, and the federal government that led the deduction of $100 million to Abubakar Yaris via the two BDCs that were used. The whistleblower, who is simply identified by initials BMC, in a report obtained by Sahara Reporter on Friday, also requested for the corporate affairs document and asked for the comprehensive suite on GSCL Consulting Limited and Biz Plus Consulting Service Limited and the owners, adding that the two private firms were used to receive the $100 million refund. It should also place a no debit order on the two accounts, which are domiciled in the United Bank for Africa, UBA. Given details of the payment of Paris Club refund that had now amounted to 70 billion naira to some group of people to the detriment of all Nigerians, the whistleblower charged the NFIU to invite Prince Ned Nwoko to provide evidence of contract. Scope project manager team as witnesses. Evidence of milestone completion and certificate of completion and the transmittals for this project that warranted the payment of $350 million from the Paris Club refund. So Ned Nwoko is also mentioned here. The whistleblower stated this report. The whistleblower stated this report is based on fact and evidence and can be used to investigate the alleged criminals. Titled Fraudulent Diversion of Paris State and the Local Government Loan Refunds, it opined that since the successful negotiation with the Nigeria International Creditors, Paris Club in bracket, which led to series of multi-billion dollars refund to our state and local government who were erroneously affected by over the deduction in foreign loan repayment. Governor Abubakar Yaris had been conniving with some state governors and unscrupulous, criminally masterminded individuals with the presidency to filter legitimate entitlement of state and local government alongside approved legal and consultancy agreed fees. Authority by Mr. President, which is Buhari. So Buhari also has a case to answer, but he is nowhere to be found. BMC said that the President Muhammad Buhari recently approved the final reimbursement of over-deduction on Paris London Club loans to state and the local government. Regrettably, the Buhari also gave approval for payment of the sum of $350 million $350 million to legal firms and consultants who facilitated the refund. However, there are no provision or directives stating that the sum of $100 million will be diverted for the named beneficiaries. His Excellency Governor Abdulaziz and the Attorney General of the Federation. One of such fraud had just scaled through in a central bank of Nigeria and was scheduled for this bus through UBA Bank on the 21st of November 2018 through the following phantom entities below. Dollar account, domiciliary account. One named GSCL Consulting. Account number. You see the account number there. Correspondent bank, Citibank, New York. So they use their offshore account. They were using their offshore account. Have you now seen the reason why I will continue to call the West those who are recipient of the fund that is looted in Africa? It is they are actually approving and buying the stolen goods of Africa, and they are making use of it. They use their offshores to loot this money. Every details of every account where this money went to is made available here. Just like you will see, everything including the SWIFT code, everything is made available in this piece that I am reading. So now let's see what is actually playing out. Therefore, the total sum of 29 billion 250 is it 29 billion 250 29.250 billion was directed to be credited into UBA for the beneficial of Abdulaziz Yaris Abubakar using his alias and phantom companies as a conduit to divert funds. Wow. The fund was packaged and disguised. The fund was packaged and disguised. This is where we are. I hope you can see it. I don't know if you are still seeing what we are reading. I believe you are. The fund was packaged and disguised under the cover for legally prescribed governor forum, while the receiving account in the CBN to UBA are private entities and firms tagged GSCL Consulting Limited and BizPlus Consulting Services. These are all okay. BMC alleged that the Central Bank of Nigeria violated the rule of law and indulged in financial malpractice and the irregularities by approving the remittance to UBA on the 21st of November 2018. We also wish to state that our preliminary inquiries revealed that the two firms had no contractual relationship with any state or local government in Nigeria that will warrant the payment of $100 million. All efforts were made to hold the payment, but the Attorney General of Federation, did you see that? Listen very well. Hi, money is too much in Nigeria politics, so no wonder everybody is running to become a politician, including those we are, some of those who we are doing this struggle together with. They wanted Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to turn the struggle to political party at some point, so that they will go Kahasola Attorney General Nebubazi. All efforts were made to hold the payment, but the Attorney General, AGF, manipulated Mr. President, claiming that the money were for election and the then EFCC chairman Magu was instructed on override to release the above named accounts that were restricted. Wow. On their reward, BMC said, "We are doing this in the spirit of ongoing war against corruption and the current economic degrading condition of Nigeria. We also wish to be rewarded through the whistleblowing policy and directed by the president." Which president? Which president? The president that is also involved, that has nke kuchago shu ya boso. Aye. This is just the beginning. Oh, this is just the beginning, because I have to show you at the end of it what happened again to the whistleblower. That is something I want to show you. One moment. There is even another one. They also use the Malawian account. These people did a lot. These people did a lot to Nigeria. Yet these same people are the people who go to Just one moment. Let me just leave this one aside for now. Let me get you. There is another one. That is something I want to show you. Let me get that one up first. Now let's go to the one of oil. The other one was a refund. This one, let's go to the barrel of oil, because he was not indicted in one criminal act. He was indicted in several criminal activities. Looting funds. Hey, Malami. Let me bring this one to your screen as well. And you need to see the face of the man who made sure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not released. A criminal. Okay, alleged criminal. See this. Look at this. Let us now hear from this piece. Hi, the way these people are looting Nigerian money. The way these people are looting money. No wonder there is nothing that will ever make them to denounce or reject the Western colonization, because it enables them to loot money left, right, and center. Missing barrels of oil. Malami finally appears before the reps panel. Says allegation baseless. This, I think, this one is the I saw this. The allegation is unfounded. It lacks merit and indeed substance, the minister told the lawmakers. The Minister of Justice, Attorney General of Federation, Abubakar Malami, has described the alleged illegal sale of 48 million barrels of oil as baseless and lacking in merit. Mr. Malami stated on Thursday when he finally appeared before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the sales of the crude oil. The allegation is unfounded, it lacks merit and indeed substance, the minister told the lawmakers. The House had in December 2022 resolved to probe the alleged missing barrel of crude oil allegedly sold in China by some Nigerian official. Hi, when I told you China likes stolen goods, they like it. The resolution followed a motion moved by Ibrahim Isiaka, APC Ogun, who claimed in his motion that the tip was provided by a whistleblower. This whistleblower, I am still going to show you this particular whistleblower, what Abubakar Malami did against this whistleblower. Instead of, putting effort to investigate the crime. But listen, Premium Times reported that Mr. Malami shunned several invitations by the lawmakers, prompting the committee to issue 7-day ultimatum for him to appear. Presidential probe revealed no evidence. Mr. Malami, while reacting to the sale of the crude oil, said President Muhammad Buhari got the news of the alleged missing oil in 2016 and set up a committee to investigate the matter. He said the committee comprised himself, the Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari, a former Director General of State Security Service, Lawal Daura, and former Chief of Staff, Mr. Buhari Abba Kyari. He stated that the panel could not get evidence to back up the rumor on the allegations, stressing that the committee could not even link the purported oil to Nigeria. Let me state on record and for the benefit of Nigerians and the committee that the allegation relating to the 48 million barrel are baseless. The allegation is unfounded. It lacks merit and indeed substance. Why would it not lack merit and indeed substance? Number one, Nigeria does not have intelligence. Number two is that you were Attorney General of Federation. You know how to manipulate everything. You were in the position of, Attorney General while answering to a crime. In a country that is actually, working, a country that, fights crime, the first thing they will do to a person who is suspected to a crime like this magnitude is to step down and step aside so that they will not actually, use their power to manipulate the criminal justice. They will not actually use their power to intimidate witnesses. They will not use their power to override many things against them. But in Nigeria, he was still in position of power, even though he was actually charged. No, he was actually, accused of committing state looting, of looting state fund, of selling Nigeria oil without remitting the fund. But in Nigeria, what happened is that they decided that no, we are not going to make this man step aside. So that, of course, it's under Buhari APC. All of them are APC together. APC cadres. They only, he was in the position of power. Remember what happened in Britain. Britain that actually colonized you people in Nigeria. When Boris Johnson was found guilty of some, leaking of information, Boris Johnson, they actually asked him to resign immediately. They asked him to resign immediately. They treated him, they did not give him any special treatment because they know if they do, the next person is going to come up and they are going to loot the state fund, or they are going to commit the same scandal again. So they gave it zero tolerance to crime. Any crime that is committed by a state actor in a developed world or in a free nation, the first thing that state actor will do is to step aside first, so that they will not have access to manipulate the case against them. But this man was actually still in the position of power as Attorney General of Federation. Who is going to try Attorney General of Federation who is still sitting in a position of power while allegedly committing these crimes? Whistleblower who came up, this Attorney General descended on the whistleblower and they asked the Interpol to go after the whistleblower. I'm going to actually show you. I am going to show you that one as well. The reason why we are coming in all these things, this is the same man on this allegation, answering of this allegation while being accused of this crime. He was still having the audacity that when court of a competent jurisdiction issued a verdict on the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that clear Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of all the frivolous charges, this man was writing every day, amending charges every month in the court, every 3 months, every 4 months in the court, new amended court charges against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But the man himself has a lot of skeleton in his cupboard. So this man and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is supposed to be in the DSS solitary confinement, because this man, there is an evidence of the crime that he has committed. A whistleblower who actually notified Nigeria about this crime committed by this former Attorney General of Federation, while still in position of this Attorney General, committing all this crime, he used his position to intimidate the whistleblower. And the same man ordered the stay of execution on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case. Have you now seen the reason why we must stand firm that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be released on the 24th of September, if it is that date? I did not cross-check it very well. So, it is very, very important because he has committed no crime. The criminal is on the, is on the move, doing their stuff. They are not even arrested. They are not nothing because they had opportunity while in the position of power to destroy a lot of evidence, to manipulate a lot of the witnesses, to make sure that they threaten even the whistleblower because they used the position they had in the government, because they were supposed to, if they had it been, they stepped aside. They will not have access to use state resources to bribe anyone. They will not have access to use state position to intimidate anybody. But all these allegations, at the end of the day, they manipulate it. They will come to tell you it has no basis, that it has no substance. That is exactly how they roll. Because the person who is going to be trying you, Nigeria government will be the complainer. Nigeria government will be the judge. Nigeria government will be the lawyer. Nigeria government will be the, everything. How do you think you are going to win a crime fighting in a country like Nigeria, where you will see a minister commit a crime and there is some substantial evidence given or delivered? At the end of the day, the minister will not step aside. The minister will use all the resources at his disposal while still in the position of the leadership of ministerial position, and they will override all these evidences. Now, after they serve their tenure, they were allowed to serve their tenure until their tenure elapsed. Then now, all these charges were now being brought up. Now, why is it being brought up? Their tenure, while they were still in the tenure. Since 2016, some of these cases since 2016, they were still on their position of power. Manipulated them, making sure that they have, cleared their fingerprint, everything that will tag them into this. They must have actually cleaned it as much as they can, except if there is a political will that will make them to answer for this crime. That's the only thing that will make these people to answer for this crime and pay back the money. But there is none, because all of them are birds of the same feather. If you do this if the sitting APC government do this to him, maybe there will be some secret that they have to leak against the sitting government, because they are from the same parties. So, have you now seen that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was actually being charged by a group of criminals. How can a person who is a criminal charging other people for the sake of them fighting because of criminal element that is found in the government of Nigeria at any given time? This man was advocating against this criminal element, the same criminal element who were allegedly charged with corruption and the embezzlement of the state fund. They decided to be the ones who will be in the forefront and the position to prosecute this innocent person. And the state Nigeria judiciary are there entertaining such cases, are there entertaining the stay of execution. Is that not ironic? And you will tell me tomorrow that the reason why so many of you will be, when I am speaking like this, so many of you will be prejudiced against me because you will think, because you don't like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, he told you the way it is. He is actually exposing all these criminal elements in Nigeria the way it is. Now, you will not like him. Likewise, the way you will not like me because I'm exposing these criminal elements. Now, because you don't like him and he is going through an injustice, you don't like him and you support this injustice he's going through. You are championing one Nigeria under the support of this injustice that you have seen him going through. You championing one Nigeria, believing that after championing one Nigeria, it will be go well with you at some point. Believe you me, one day you will be in the worse position than Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When you have committed no crime, you will be in that position. It is like Orufulebe Jimbazwenyo Ribiana Amuyamu. One day you will find yourself in that position. Because one good term deserves another. When you see somebody that is being prosecuted without any, without any offense, and because you don't like him, you support them, because it is the order of the day in Africa. I am not only saying it is in Nigeria, it is the order of the day in Africa. But Nigeria is the chief. Nigeria is the giant of all this corruption. The giant of all this corruption. That is the reason why you saw this coup that took place, this small coup that took place in Niger Republic. It opened a canker worm. It opened a can of worm, rather, across the ECOWAS region. It opened a can of worm across the ECOWAS region, which is about any leader of ECOWAS region who claim that they are going to support the restoration of democracy or democracy in Niger Republic. Believe you me, that leader is anti-democratic. That leader does not know what democracy is all about. That leader is actually stealing. That leader is not elected through democratic process. They came through the back door. Because anybody who understands democracy will understand that that stadium that was full of people, and it was not even containing the amount of people who came there to support the military junta. They should know it is democracy. It is democracy that the power belongs to the people. The people choose, the people actually remove. So it means that you are in support of something evil and you are calling yourself that you are under this structure, then you want to go and restore, that structure where the structure is, naturally taking place, where people are demonstrating their power of democracy. And you say, no, I want to go and interfere because all of you are actually scared that it will come to you. Because if you are a good leader who fights corruption, if you have been a good leader who actually makes sure that there is nothing like corruption in your side, there is no way you will ever come up to tell us that you are against what is happening in Niger Republic. It is not possible. But because they are well aware that if they do not fight this thing, it will come back to them. They are well aware that if they keep quiet, it will come back to them. That is the reason why they want to use intimidation to see if they will stop this permanently from ever taking place. But little did they know that it will actually expose them to the world, for the world to know. Even a child that was born, maybe 5 years ago will understand that all of them in that ECOWAS region or ECOWAS bloc that we are willing to deploy military to go out there, they are birds of the same feather. And they do not understand what exactly, this structure they use to elect their leaders is all about. They don't understand how it works. Because now, if you talk about the switching of electricity, the embargo that is placed on the Niger Republic by the Nigeria leader, you will know that it is anti-democratic. Because if you think about it, you will know that if there are Africans who understand what Africans are going through, you will realize that it is about the people who are going to feel the spikes of this thing. Military junta staying in a government house, there will be a backup generator or backup solar system that will be giving them light 24 hours a day. So, cutting off electricity is not going to affect the junta. Rather, the junta will say to their people, no, we are going to learn how to build resilience in order to, go through this problem. We are going to have alternatives. And the people will be suffering because they have hope. It is all about having hope and resilience to fight what you perceive to be a threat, to be a formidable challenges that you have been facing that doesn't go away. Then they give you a time period. We're going to restore these things. So who are you fighting against? Are you fighting against the military junta? Or are you fighting against the people who make up of this, structure that you want to go and restore? Before you actually, before you preach something, make sure it is something that is you will be able to practice. You want to restore this, but you are punishing people. You are busy punishing people who are actually, making sure that they restore their freedom. And this is the whole of this country decided that they want to restore their freedom. The people of this nation decided that they want to bring back their dignity, not to be exploited from the outside world. And they decided that they want to support every, force that will rise up and take the lead. And they supported them. If you decide to say, no, let's restore this your crazy, let's restore this your crazy, you will find out that the people will still vote for the military junta. I am telling you, they will still vote for them. The reason why you will understand is that people are looking for a change. Regardless of how it is going to come, many people don't care. And the same thing is applicable to every country in Africa, where ordinary people are suffering. They are looking for any alternatives. They are not even scared of trying new things, new alternatives. They are not scared of trying them because they believe, no, we have been here to do, we have seen 99. There is no 100 is nothing. Let us go to 100 and try it. Even if it doesn't work, we continue trying. It does not matter because we have suffered enough. There is no amount of suffering that will make us to be surprised today because of the criminal element we find in our government. So they all, united in one consent to try to stop it, to try to stop it, because now it has come to the border of Nigeria, knowing that there was a letter that was released. Ben Buhari was going out about military coup. And that military coup, that letter, could it be that that letter that was released was a letter that is meant for Niger Republic? And immediately when Tinubu came to the position of power, I don't know if it is because of the letter, because we know that Tinubu is a guy man. He is a very streetwise man. He is very, very streetwise. But I am actually trying to understand how he is going to, how he is going to treat the case of IPOB. That will make, that is actually part of the things that will tell us how streetwise he is, or how, guy man he is. Now, it is very, very imperative that you know that he came in. He retired so many high-ranked military personnel. He retired them because he perceived it. He saw it coming. He retired all of them. But one thing that he does not know, or little does he know, that junior militaries can still carry out coup. Because they saw this thing coming. They saw it coming. They know. And that is for their own selfish reasons. That is the reason why they wanted to go and engage. Before started receiving those backlashes they started receiving. It is in their own selfish gain. It is not in the benefit of anybody in Nigeria. It is not in the benefit of ordinary Nigerians. It is for their own benefit. That's why they went through that road. But the backlashes they receive, and at the end of the day, what they have seen, make them to pipe low. And if they are not able to pipe low, believe you me, what is going to, what they were going to see, they were going to see something that is very, very big, that is going to be bigger than every other thing. That was the reason why they decided to pipe low. They decided to pipe low because if they make a move, if they decided that they will carry out their, what they planned, the end is going to be very, very disastrous. The end was going to be very, very disastrous. And at the end of the day, he will be sabotaged. Just like I have told you initially, that the people, the Fulani people, they are not happy with him. So if they are not happy with him, maybe when he move a motion for that, you will now find out what was going to happen to him. But he is also an intelligent man. Emilio Khan is an intelligent man. Very, very streetwise. But back to our topic after the digression. It is very, very important for us to know that this criminal element that you have seen looting and stealing money from Nigeria without being held to account, they perceived what is to come. They perceived what is to come. So the people of Niger supported whoever that is going to, promise them a better future. These things, it happens in a big scale. We understand it. But when it is happening in a small scale, we don't understand it. The Nigerians does not understand the reason why people are supporting people in the likes of this Eberima in Finland. It is as a result of people are seeking for alternatives. Even if it is somebody that is only giving them fake hope. Anybody that is going to be saying or, doing anything that will harm anything called Nigeria, people are actually willing to support. That is something that our people does not understand about this, Ekpelima in Finland and his situation. It doesn't matter if it is a fake. It doesn't matter if it is something that is, going to work for the people. As long as you are giving them a new hope, you are giving them a new direction, and you are hurting the government of the day, or you appear to be hurting but the worst part of his own dealings is that he is not hurting the people that he's supposed to be hurting. He is hurting the ordinary people. But people are still not seeing it because most of them are not on the ground zero where this, economic sabotage is happening. Most of them, they are able to send money to their own immediate family without realizing that there is other people who does not even have their own people abroad that will send money to them. They don't realize it. They become so selfish at some point where they are trying to, do anything that will hurt their boogeyman called their country where they are coming from. So in so doing, this thing now will create a lot of problem. It creates a lot of problem, such problem that it creates will confuse some gullible people. Even though you are leading them to their dead end, they don't mind because they have seen 99. 100 is nothing for them because they now believing in hope. It is only hope that will solve our problem. So that is exactly what you will see happening in Africa. Every place, every corner in Africa, you will see such things, similar stuff happening. Our people suffered, and to the extent to become gullible that anybody that says, I will destroy Nigeria today, they will support that person. Once you open your mouth to say, I will destroy Nigeria today, they will, and become consistent. If you become consistent with saying it, you will find people backing you up, supporting you, clapping for you, without knowing that you have nothing to offer them. It is something that is a problem. It is born of the hatred you have with the present status quo or the structure you have in your country. That is as a result of how you see people like autopilot looks like they are flourishing. So in this regard, pointing out all these things, you have seen the corrupt leaders. They will continue to be corrupt. They will continue to be corrupt. And they will continue to aggravate ordinary people because ordinary people notice that no matter how much corrupt they are, they will not be held to account. Just like Abubakar Malami, all the corruption he's committed, he is not in jail. He is not being tried in court. But Emeifele, which is coming from Biafra land, whom is perceived to be accomplice to the crime that Abubakar Malami must have committed one way or the other. Emeifele is actually being held in the DSS, is being held, and he is answering for a crime of having a firearm. Because now, but the main person who committed this crime with him, who actually covered him from the law aspect of it, who actually knew how to maneuver the law aspect of the crime, which they were accused of committing, they were not removed from their position when these criminal activities were taking place. They stood firm in the position, manipulating everything. And after they are now done serving in their position, people are now calling them to come and answer. Why did they not call them when this issue started in the year 2016? Listen here. Pay attention to this highlighted area. Pay attention to this area where I am highlighting. It says, Mr. Malami, it says here, Mr. Malami While reacting to the sales of crude oil, he said President Muhammad Buhari got the news of the alleged missing oil in 2016. In 2016, the first tenure of Buhari, 2016, that's when they started looting these things. So since 2016, Mr. Malami was still in the position of the Attorney General, working in the judiciary. So how then do you think a criminal element will enable judiciary to thrive? In truth and honesty. To thrive within the constitution or ambit of the law. How do you then want such a person? But such a person is going about serially prosecuting innocent people. And one of their victims is still in a solitary confinement today. DSS dungeon. Every developed nation, when you find somebody, Malami, when they actually kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, do you know what Malami did? He went and addressed people in Hausa language. Malami is Attorney General of Federation of Nigeria, not Attorney General of Hausa land. But Malami decided that he will go and address Nigerians in Hausa language. A Nigeria that I don't even know 2 words in Hausa language. I don't know 2 words in Hausa language. I don't even know 2 words in Yoruba language. But Malami went to address Nigeria in Hausa language because he was addressing his own people, the people he perceived to be Nigerians, those who he actually gave him support to go and kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, rendition him. As the Attorney General of Federation, I know that all these people, they are not qualified to be in the position that they found themselves. And having seen that they are not qualified to be in the position they found themselves, that is the reason why they abuse it. They are not, these people are not actually professionals. They are not professionals. They abuse the position where they found themselves. So many of them forged their results. There was a video I played 2 days ago. It was a mistaken video. When somebody only have 2 credits and the result that does not even admit you to a university, but they claim they went to university and they have another certificate, but their matriculant result does not qualify them to go to university. So you will be wondering, how does these things happen in Nigeria? How is it possible? So having seen that most people that violate the office where they occupy or position in a government position where they are occupying are the people who are not qualified to be in such position. That is the reason why it is very difficult to practice technocrats or technocracy in Africa. It is very, very difficult because they will always, people pretend to be what they are not. Because in Nigeria now, so many people does not even know when they were born. I am telling you, in Nigeria, millions of people does not know their age. Millions of people. You know why? There is no birth registration in Nigeria. That is the reason why Fulani can come from across the Sahel. They become Nigeria. There is no birth registration. There is no system where you will find out to say, no, this person was born this way. That is the reason why if I want to travel, I could actually go and make a passport. What is your age? I go and make any age that I want. Any age that I want. It becomes my age. So many of us does not know our age. I am telling you the honest truth. Because it is not gazetted, it is not registered. If I am lying, write it in the comment section. If I am lying, write it in the comment section. Sebastian Ihekwa Say you are very stupid calling Simon a criminal. God damage your mouth. Simon is a criminal. I am not saying it for you to be, to support me. But he's a criminal. And he is using pastors' format. There is a lot of Yahoo people. Pastors' format is a format that does not cast. You know what is pastors' format? When you use a pastor format, pastor will pray for you today and say that he has healed you of your cancer, of your everything. You will believe you are healed. You go home. You are behaving like people who are healed. Tomorrow you come back. You are still feeling pain, but you are telling pastor, I am healed. They will tell you, no, you are healed. Then if you become worse tomorrow, they say, no, you are faith. You don't have enough faith. It is pastor format that he uses on you. When he sees that he is now, being exposed to the highest order, the next thing he will come and tell you, we are no longer going to do exposition. It is not about doing broadcast. Why doing broadcast? Why can't you do broadcast? It is not about coming to gossip in the social media. It is about educating our people to be aware. It took these people how many years to get to this point where they are? 500 years. Do you know the reason why Martin Luther King was killed? Do you know the reason why Thomas Sankara was killed? Do you know the reason why Bob Marley was killed? Do you know the reason why Marcus Garvey was killed? Do you know the reason why all these people, great men who speak and who sing about our mind emancipation, were killed? Because they understood that black man does not like to read, but black man like to listen. When you are reading out for them, when you are explaining it to them, that is the mind of the European, the West. They know that the black man prefer that you actually speak to them. They understand the speech more than taking a book and reading it. So they notice that it is through education, it is through teaching that our people will be mind emancipated quickly. That is the reason why they decided to eliminate everybody who is actually, verbally teaching our people, not writing a book and giving our people. That is the reason why they were able to take our Bible and went back and make it a book, bring it back to you, teach you what they want you to know, because they know you are not going to verify it. What is written in such book? That is the reason why they were able to win. It took them like 500 years to get to this position where we found ourselves, that our situation deteriorated up until this day. And somebody come around and tell you that, no, it is not about coming to broadcast. It is not about coming to teach our people. It is about action. How are you going to go to war without preparing your soldiers of war? Because they are not ready. I have told you that one thing that this guy did in the struggle, I'm digressing because of a myopic comment that I have seen here. Because, I am going to still go back to what we were, where we were. How are you going to teach your people? How are you going to take these people to war when you have not prepared them? How do you prepare them? They need to be mentally, prepared. You need to decolonize people before you take them to take back their heritage. You need to make sure that you teach them everything that has been instilled into them through suffering, through economic exclusion, through disenfranchise. They have done so many things against these people. It worked in their mind. No matter whichever dance, if you finish dance, you will feel the pain in your waist. So at the end of these things, every poverty, everything they have done against our people, it goes and they store in their brain negatively. It works against them negatively. It comes to their brain negatively. That is the reason why you see black on black violence. That is the reason why you see a black life does not worth even a lot of money to be taken. That is the reason why you see people are being, people can be, manipulated into carrying arm and killing their people in the name of terrorism. So these are the things we need teaching to, in order for us to actually, decolonize this thing and make our people to unlearn. Help them to inculcate that what they are used to, what they are familiar with, through suffering, how they navigate their problem, it is not the right way. How they follow people, it is not the right way. If you cannot teach people, how then are you going to prepare them? So you claim you have Biafran Liberation Army. You have the same story that you have been told since 2021. The same story you are being told every day of you since Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was a rendition. Whenever it is coming to the court case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, ask yourself, why is somebody telling you he has a Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra soldiers, this and this and that? At the end of the day, nothing is done. It will look like we are engaging into child play. If you know that you don't have anything, don't talk. Shut up, so that you will not make yourself stupid. And the one very beautiful thing that Simon Ekpa did in this struggle, I've said it and I'm saying it again. It is that he has actually shown us that our people need more education. Our people need more teaching. Our people need more mind emancipation. And there is no way it is going to come to them except through what I am doing right now. And he is telling you that he's not going to teach. There is no need of broadcast anymore, coming to broadcast anymore. It is time to action. How can you go to do action with people who don't know what action means? How can you do action with people who does not know how important it is to have freedom? How can you go to fight for freedom with people who are not prepared mentally? Don't you know that, the journey that we are about to embark upon, it is not a journey of a smooth road. It is not a journey, it is a journey of mental toughness. It is not a journey of I have military, I have Biafra army. It is not that journey. The journey we are embarking upon, it is journey of that you need your mental strength. And that is exactly what we are preparing, smoothing the road. We are showing the transgression of Nigeria against us to the world. So many of you Umwefulefu in autopilot came to say that Joshua Maponya was talking about Biafra. Do you think it is as a result of the stupidity of Ekperima in Finland and all this autopilot that Joshua Maponya saw and start talking about and make a reference about Biafra? Do you think it is as a result of it? It is as a result of us teaching people about the quality of our minds, giving people, sharing with people, with our fellow Africans, what we have to offer. That is as a result of it. It is not as a result of somebody coming to threaten people that is selling okra. People that are actually surviving in the village where you run away from. People that are surviving, you are destroying their means of livelihood. You are coming to tell us you are fighting for the freedom of these people. Are you not a criminal? That's why I continue to tell you he is using pastor member format on you. Because he does not get it. That pastor member format does not get old. That is the reason why so many pastors hold, people's wife in this format. That is the reason why so many pastors hold so many families on this format. And they continue to thwart their mind. They continue to colonize their mind. You people believe it is only the West that colonize people. No, it is not only the Western nations that colonize people. What Ekperima in Finland is doing, he's colonizing your mind, making you stupid, taking advantage of your situation, taking advantage of your hatred for Nigeria, and using it to enrich himself. Every time he is good at motivational, to motivate you, he is very good at that. That is the reason why you will always buy it. For somebody to come and tell you, There is no more, that you don't need teaching anymore. That he doesn't need to broadcast anymore. Because all the people that are giving him, does he know how to broadcast? Simon Ekpa is not a decolonized human being. How can he help you to fight freedom? It takes a free man to help somebody to be free. He is not a free man. He is a westernized somebody. He is actually thinking like Europeans in a black man's skin, which made him more dangerous to, to his own people. In the last 20 years, ask him, did he ever touch base with the ground zero of where he is actually desecrating, the land that he's desecrating? Has he ever touched base with the land, the ground zero of that land? No. But he say he's fighting for your freedom. All of them come up. Dr. Maponya said, Joshua Maponya said, talk about Biafra. He talked about Biafra. The reason why people begin to understand what we are fighting for, that we are not anti-African, unification. We are pan-African. Even if we are fighting for Biafra, we are still pan-Africanist. We believe in African unity. But, like I will always say, it is actually going to be easy if people of like mind are found in a particular, location. They will be able to do exploit. They will be able to do great. Not people who does not understand each other. Not people, historically, they have never, ruled, over each other. Historically, they are there, these people were there. They don't have anything in common. Culturally, they don't have anything in common. So they were forced to be together. Because anything that is actually set up by the colonial power, believe you me, it is not set up in benefit of those it was set up therefore. It was set up for the benefit of them who set it up. That is the reason why we say we want our freedom from this, from this colonial setup called Nigeria. 1914 amalgamation of oil and water. Let us see this oil and water, how it is going to work. The reason why, and we go to historical fact, the reason why we were amalgamated by this, in this Nigeria, because we refuse to adhere to the instruction of the colonialist. We refuse to actually obey. We refuse to bow down before the Queen of England. Our ancestors refused to shake them with two hands. That was the reason why they say, no, we cannot get to control these people. The only way we can control them is bringing them to people who obey us and giving the power of army and police to those people who obey us, who lie down and greet us, so that they will control them while we control the resources. So we cannot watch these things happening, and it has never benefited anybody. Even those people who actually obey them, it has never benefited them. But they cannot see it because they have nobody who is good enough like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to stand to fight for them. They have nobody who is uncompromisable like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to fight for them. That is the reason why immediately they see Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they promised him heaven on earth. They even promised him vice president of Nigeria. But he refused. That what make Britain. Because Britain knows that our people love money. Britain knows our own challenges is that this must be a very different Biafra. Because the slogan they used when they killed us in 1967 genocide to 1970, 3 years genocide, they said to themselves, had it been they knew, they were going to bribe some of our people that we will start killing each other. That was the slogan. But little did they know that a man of honor like this generation you have seen. That is, this generation that is led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will rise from the eastern region, the Biafra land, to demand for what is rightfully his people, without being compromised, no matter how much they have threatened to kill him. When he was released from prison in 2015, they decided that he was still waiting for his court case that is approaching. They sent Operation Python to go and dance in his house. Military. This same military that you have seen in the picture, how terrorists dealt with them. How terrorists killed them like nobody. They trooped into this man's house and they decided to go and kill this man. As God may have it, because what God have signed will never change. As God may have it, he escaped. That is the escape that you see today. They now say that he is in a contempt of court. That is the case they charged him with, after they might have kidnapped him from Kenya. Remember that him was being kidnapped in Kenya. It was Britain who revealed his security details. Britain sabotaged his security details. Because, do you know why? He traveled from Britain. It was only British airport. It was British that knows where he is going next. Because once you are leaving from airport, you will be stamped out. You see the visa of where you are going. He was being under surveillance of Britain to know when he will go to lawless country in Africa. Lawless country in Africa. And Kenya was the lawless country in Africa where this lawlessness took place. Kenya, led by William Ruto, they used him and they kidnapped a political activist, uncompromisable political activist. They used him and they kidnapped him. They renditioned him in a private jet after torturing him for 8 days, believing he was going to die. If not that if not that God helped him again, that people saw what happened, they were going to kill him. And they were going to, when they kill him, I don't even know what they are going to tell us. They were going to kill him. So as God may have it, they had decided to torture him. They actually beat him that he had internal bleeding. His ears was actually, broken. And as God may have it, he's still alive. He was able to leave. They placed him in a solitary confinement. After that, they set up this group of autopilot in order to use them to hijack the struggle while trying to keep him in a solitary confinement to make him irrelevant. So that people will forget him, because they know that the problem of a black man we forget so quickly. So they were playing this game that we will leave them, they will forget him quickly. They don't know that as formidable as he is, people like us are as that. We will never forget somebody who showed us the way. It is not possible. This generation is not like that generation that they are using to qualify us. We are different. So they brought up this criminal element. And they resource them. They actually make sure they give them what they want to start acting, to hijack the struggle. From the women in the USA to what you see now in the Finland. They prepared him to take over. Because what they wanted is that once everybody agree with them, they will use him to destroy the struggle. That was the plan, but the plan failed. That is the reason why you see all these testers fly, coming to my comment section to write rubbish. Because the reason why they prepared these people, it is because Because our people does not understand what double agent means. A double agent is dangerous. They will act like they are actually working on your behalf. But they are not. They are working for their selfish aggrandizement and for the sake of the master. They will do everything to buy your, to make you believe in them. And that's what these people are doing. They are very manipulative, pathetic liars. Now, that is the reason why if there is anybody within the Pan-African activist or African decolonization activist who talk about Biafra, they will run out, they will start making posters, tagging themselves as if they are the ones doing it. These people are gang of thieves. It is not about somebody who is coming in the media space constituting nuisance, answering prime minister in exile. It is about the teaching. It is about telling people the quality of your mind. It is about telling people your initiative and where you are going. That will make people to support you. It is not about coming all the time. Every time we have Biafra army, we have men on the ground. We are doing fundraising today. It is not about that. Get people to be aware of what we are standing for. We stand for African unity. And that is, like I told you before, I am a Pan-African. But the freedom of Biafra is a task that must be done. Because it is part of something that will actually help to emancipate our black people all over the world. Do you know why Niger coup gained too much momentum? Do you know why it gained too much momentum? It is because Nigeria is involved. And it is because Nigeria is seen as a giant of Africa. If Nigeria is actually taken back to the status quo and the problem of Nigeria is solved, what do you think that is going to happen? What is going to happen is that the whole of Africa is going to wake up. That's why the issue of Niger Republic is gaining momentum across the world. Because Nigeria is involved. If Nigeria was not involved, if we don't talk about it, it won't gain that momentum. Or had it been Nigeria did not want to engage, it won't get that momentum. That means any positive change that occurs in Nigeria will affect every other African nation positively. So that's why we are trying to make sure that the status quo that was led by Britain in 1914, more than 100 years ago, we are going to bring it down. We are going to go back the way Chukwu Okike Abiama, God Almighty who created heaven and earth, made that region to be. He made that region to be independent, not to be named by somebody who came from somewhere we don't know. And they forced our language on us. Forced their amalgamation on us. A white man from Europe came and looked at these people, prominent people who have what it takes to be the greatest nation in the world. And we were greatest nation in the world when they arrived. We were. During the time they came, the civilization that was taking place at that point in time made us so great. They actually made sure that they sabotage our civilization in order to steal it, to come back to sell it to us. That's what they were able to achieve. And they achieved that. They know that the amalgamation will make these people not to remember exactly whom they are. It will keep them busy while they are fighting with each other. Because some part refused, some part which are very rich, entrepreneurial mindset, people who think, the ancient Chinese of today. We were the ancient Chinese of today. That these people, if you allow them to be on their own, We will never colonize them. We will never take anything from their land. But we have to introduce amalgamation strategy. Those who will be our puppet, we give them police and army. That is the reason why they have never given us presidency. That is the reason why they will never give us presidency. They will identify the stooges or their stooges in our midst and give them the governorship. And those stooges will continue to kill us, reduce our numbers. They will continue to, cripple us economically. They will continue to make us to run away from these areas, so that they will occupy the land and take the resources as much as they want without nobody speaking about it. Ask Nigeria who helped them to kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Ask Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. We must bring down that place called Kenyatta. We must change that name of that street we have in Biafra land called Kenyatta. We must change that name. Because Kenyatta have become a very, very bad shadow or in our freedom fighting. We named it we named that area Kenyatta in solidarity with Kenyatta from Kenya. So in this regard, they helped them to kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Using Attorney General Malami, who is the mastermind in Nigeria that is carrying out all these things. The same man is a criminal element. The same man stole 2 billion barrels of oil. They directed the funds. The same man, I read for you exactly what he did. And I am still reading, which is this highlighted area that I am reading before this autopilot infiltrator double agent boys decided to come and write rubbish in my comment section. Those whom are under a spell of pastor format decided to come to write rubbish in my comment section. But they can never they can never make us to forget what we are talking about. They know. Now we go back to the reading. What Malami, because the reason why I am reading it, to tell you the reason why it is very, very important for this man who ordered the stay of execution of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should recuse himself, and every case that he established those cases on a selfish and personal vendetta. So those cases does not have to stand the test of time. Those cases does not have to stand as long as there is a criminal mind. He is a criminal-minded person who is able to loot a state fund. He does not have a stand in order to say call a person that the person is a criminal, because he's a criminal. Looting a state fund is an act of terrorism, because that money can give life to people. That money can give life to people. So, if the judiciary want to do things accordingly, they should start with the man who actually ordered the stay of execution, and change the attorney, the judges that presided over the case, that the man is a criminal. And this case cannot proceed, because even the court of a competent jurisdiction, 3 learned judges prescribed over this case and presided over this case rather, and they actually discharged and acquitted Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and ordered Nigeria to compensate him for the act of terrorism being meted on him from Kenya, kidnapping in Kenya, and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria, because there is no case established of extradition. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was not declared a fugitive. So if he was declared a fugitive, we believe there will be actually a case established on him, there will be extradition, there will be a repatriation. But this one was kidnapped, tortured for 8 days, extraordinary rendition, placed in a solitary confinement. Then at the end of the day, the man who actually carried out all this against one man, since 2016, this man has been looting Nigeria fund. That is the reason why, if you look at this highlighted areas here in this, you will see where it says Malami reacting to the sale of the crude oil said President Buhari got the news of the alleged missing oil in 2016. So it means that this thing started maybe from the first time they actually placed him in the position of Attorney General, that they started looting. Now he said the committee comprised himself, Chief Executive Officer, NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari, which is the chief of NNPC, who's supposed to oversight every activities of every company or oil exploration going on in Nigeria. But oil theft is actually, going crazy in Nigeria. These are the type of people, when they catch oil thieves and they have to burn the vessel, instead of doing forensic, investigation on the vessel to, that will lead them to the owner of the vessel, they set the vessel alight. These are the type of people you have in Nigeria, but they will choose to prosecute an innocent man. That is the reason why I am calling on the on appeal court to do the needful. Appeal court to do the needful. Because appeal court, in a situation whereby executive, they are looting the country to ground, in a situation whereby the the legislature, they are looting the country to ground. That's why you see them sharing money, sharing token into their mailboxes to go for recess. That is now the judiciary, which is supposed to be at least the one that protect innocent and poor people, which is the last hope of the people. If they fail, that means everything has failed. If they continue to support the evildoers in Nigeria, that means everything has failed. That is the reason why we are calling on the judiciary. We are calling on the judiciary to actually do the needful. We are calling on them to do the needful, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should be released in the next court sitting. Judiciary will tell you they are going on vacation. Nigeria judiciary, they go on vacation while leaving innocent people in prison. They are lavishing. At the end of the day, who is going to pay for? How can a judiciary go on vacation instead of, judge, a particular judge, go on vacation, and the case will be assigned to another judge? But it doesn't happen like that in Nigeria. Let me actually look for the thing. Okay, I think about how they treated whistleblower in Nigeria. How this Attorney General treated the whistleblower. I am going to treat that case tomorrow. Let me leave it here, because we will continuously remind them, because there are things I need to talk about in my this thing. Let me pick up one and talk about it before we call it a day. Then the rest of them we will treat it tomorrow. The next thing that we have here It is Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo, there is a rumor which said that Asari Dokubo has been banned from Asorok. If Asari Dokubo has been banned from Asorok, and immediately after this rumor, Asari Dokubo went online and started reciting Islamic prayer. He did not go online and start threatening people. He started reciting Islamic prayer, which is something I will try to see if I will bring to your screen. He started praying because immediately after Asari Dokubo, who support, he is also part of them. These people who support the treatment that is being meted on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not agree with him, because Asari Dokubo is not a consistent man. Asari Dokubo was claiming that he was fighting for Ijaw nation. At the end of the day, Asari Dokubo started collecting money from the government. And this money he was collecting from the government, he forgot that he was fighting for the sake of the Ijaw nation. Now it becomes fight for his own stomach. He claimed that he is actually having a private military. And he compares himself with Prigozhin of Russia. But Asari Dokubo cannot even run for like 10 minutes. He will faint. A private army chief, a paramilitary chief, he cannot run for 5 minutes. He will faint. The same man who went to Asoville, presidential, ville. The same man who went to Washington, D.C. of Nigeria. In case if you don't understand. Washington, D.C. of Nigeria. A militant went to the Washington, D.C. of Nigeria and was there addressing Nigeria. And that's when we actually exposed to you that this, before then, we exposed to you, I think after then, that was when I told you that this man that is upcoming is going to be running a mafia state. And then, Asari Dokubo was in that podium where he addressed Nigeria, a militant who carried gun against the Nigeria state. He is not, seen, he has never done anything that is, I will say that it is positive towards the life of anybody in Nigeria, except building people that is carrying gun, threatening Nigeria state for his own selfish benefit, not for the benefit of anybody. Because there is no struggle that he has embarked upon that has ever benefited the people from his clan. It has benefited him and himself and his 21 children, or 22 now. I think they are 22 now. And many wives. Those are the people he is actually fighting for. This man went to Asoville to address Nigerians. Number one thing he said, the military are in charge, are actually the perpetrators of oil stealing in Nigeria. At the end of the day, after saying this thing, a vessel was discovered for oil theft in Nigeria. That vessel was not investigated. Nobody is able to tell you what about that vessel today. They put it alight so that there will be no trace back to where it come from. Let me tell you something, how you notice this thing. There was a time that people said there was a plane that came from Sambisa Forest. A plane that came from Sambisa Forest. That took off from Sambisa Forest. I saw that plane. I was thinking it was the truth. But that was not even from Sambisa Forest. That plane, that plane, when I actually investigated to find out, because I used the number of the plane. Because how you will actually, a plane has a plate number. A ship has a number that you will use to identify who is the owner of such ship. But in this regard, they burn it down so that nobody will be identified. Let me show you the time a plane landed. They said that a plane took off from Bisa Forest. I did fact check, because it is very important that we don't promote propaganda. We don't. And if there is anybody promoting propaganda, that person is against what we are doing. We don't promote propaganda. Let me show you that I actually wanted to make a teacher topic on this plane. You see this plane? That was the plane they said that it took off from Sambisa Forest. But the plane was not in Sambisa Forest. So I actually investigated, and I even discovered the owner of this plane. I discovered where this plane was registered and where these things took place. The plane took off in Mexico. That was Mexico. Where this plane took off, the N818LD, it is a plane that is belonging to an individual called Nulion. It is a plane belonging to an individual called Nulion. And then I actually find out every information on this plane. So it is very, very important that people who are bringing, before you actually bring out something to talk about, we investigate it thoroughly. I wanted to use this plane taken off from, as it was, shown that it was taken off from Nigeria. I wanted to use it to contextualize something that is happening in Nigeria, within that region of Sambisa Forest, how they are mining, doing illegal mining there. But on the contrary, I said, no, let me investigate this plane. I was able to investigate this plane, and I located the address of the owner of this plane. I have the details of this plane. The same, if that ship that you saw they burnt inside that water, that vessel, had it been, we were able to see that ship and see the registration of that ship. We were going to tell you the owner of that ship. We were going to tell you where that ship actually, docked. But that is the reason why they decided to burn down the ship. Because they know if we get our hands on such things, we will be able to, investigate it and do the exposition. They did not want this, third party to get involved, to see anything written on that ship. That's why they set it alight immediately. If they doubt they do not know who is the oil thief, let them bring that ship they burnt. Let them present the registration of that ship or that number written on that ship. Let them present it. I give them within 24 hours, I will tell them who is their oil thief. That is something that these people does not understand. And so many of our people, when you see them, being, delusional. The reason why you see Nigeria is going to continue to intimidate you and lie in front of your face and produce liars that is going to be controlling your mind. And that are going to be, they will be telling you all sort of lies. And you will continuously be believing them. Because you don't ask questions. You don't do investigation. You just move with the flow. You don't complain. That is the reason why they will continuously be dealing with you the way they are dealing with you. You cannot tell me that the Tinubu does not know who is the oil thief. But I told you that these oil thieves are the ones who place them in position of leadership. They are the ones who place them in a position of leadership. Now I managed to actually find out the reason why JJ Okocha, Kanu Nwankwo, whoever that decided to pay homage to Tinubu pre-election campaign. I have discovered that before you become a professional footballer in Nigeria, you will belong to a fraternity called Oboni. You must belong to the fraternity called Oboni. That is before you become a professional footballer in Nigeria. And that is the reason why they went to pay him homage. And the Tinubu you see today, he belonged to many fraternities. He belonged to many fraternities. And these fraternities you see, they are being led by the Western leaders. It is not actually local fraternities. And the father of all these fraternities is Freemasonry. Freemasonry. So that is the reason why they went to pay him a homage. Forget this thing they say, when we were doing this foundation, he helped us when we did it. No. They belong to the same fraternities. Before you become a professional footballer in Nigeria at that time, I don't know about now. Even I don't know about now. If you are not a member of Oboni, it is difficult for you. So, it is very, very important for our people to understand the world. How the world is being run. So that we will understand what is going on. Nigeria know exactly who is their oil thief. They know who is stealing oil in Nigeria. Tinubu knows who is stealing oil in Nigeria. He used Asari Dokubo to downplay it because the same people gave him support to be in the position of leadership. That's why. So at the end of all this, they claim they don't know. So after that, it is alleged now that Asari Dokubo is banned from Aso Rock. Why would he, even if he's banned or not banned from Aso Rock, what difference does he make? For those of you who are smiling, this and that, he is banned from Aso Rock. When Asari told you that Tinubu is his father figure for more than 30 years, it's like his father is a father figure to him for more than 30 years. How do you think it is going to be? He is going to be banned from Aso Rock? No reasonable news channel that carried it, and people are sharing it all over the place. Don't you think it might be a propaganda? Even if he's banned, what difference does he make if he see these people that have committed crime against our people? They have committed an act of intimidation against a particular race. Why can't they be arrested and charged and tried? Instead of being banned from coming to Aso Rock. All ex-militant, we have banned them from coming to Aso Rock. What does that mean? They are talking to children here. That is the reason why, so many people, when you see things, you start flowing with it, thinking that it has any significant effect. It does not. My setup time is up. It does not have any significant effect. It is only about manipulation. That is the reason why we will continue to preach this gospel, to emancipate our people, to know when they are being manipulated. It is very, very important because we still have a long way to go. As long as we have these infiltrators actually, proceeding, and you find people writing rubbish and supporting them, it means that we have a long way to go in educating our people. We have very long way to go. Because if we do not prepare our people and educate them to get ready for freedom, when they go to freedom, when we get our nation, they will relent the way they relax in Nigeria, and there is no one that is being held to account. Because you will see people today, you will think they are good people. You integrate them into position of leadership, they become evil. It's up to you that is a free-minded person. It is up to you that is a person who is already decolonized and knows what it takes to be a leader. To be a leader, it is not to be a supreme God or to be omnipotent. It is to be a servant of the nation. So you must bring them to account. That's why we are preparing you. We are not coming here to teach you because you are going to go to war tomorrow. No, it is not all of you that are going to go to war if need be. There are many of you who will be preparing things. There are many of you that will be a division of labor. But this mind emancipation, it is universal. It is actually needed by everybody that is going to be part of Biafra project. And we cannot stop until we achieve what we are looking for. So, bear that in mind. It is through this teaching that we will get Pan-African representatives talking about us. It is through this teaching, it is through this awareness that we will get them talking about us, knowing what we are crying for, knowing exactly what we want. It is through the teaching. It is not true, we need action, we need action, we need action. Because what Britain wanted, when they piss you off by taking your leader whom you love so much, when they take him, they want you to use action. We want action. We want action. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say, burn down Nigeria. If you look for me, you did not see me. Burn down Nigeria. If you come out, they will make you to make sure that you lose everything you have. They will call you the aggressor. You see, had it been you come out, you see what the ECOWAS wanted to do with the Niger Republic. The way they will chew you like they will chew you like granite. If you came out that time, what this chief infiltrator was pushing, had it been our leadership become emotional and join force with the idiot, because the plan was to use this person to chipota nyokunama. You come out, they will exhaust everything you have. They will infiltrate you. They will declare state of emergency. They will supply them super token, or in fact F-16. They will mess everything up in Biafra land. They will call you the aggressor. They will call you terrorist. Because before we didn't even start anything, they already put our name in the terrorist index. People who they open their mouth to name photo on. They don't even have any military jet. But every day one agufa. You don't have any military helicopter. You saw how Boko Haram just dealt with this military of Nigeria. You saw how they dealt with them. Ambushed them. Dealt with them. They have military helicopter. Boko Haram on the ground. You don't even have any military helicopter. You don't even have men. You are not prepared. It is Chakapo that they are going to use to go to war. And we need action. We need action. Action without strategy. Ask yourself, this criminal in Finland that continue to tell you every day, we have army on the ground. We have this, we have that. He only surfaced online 2021. 2021, right? 2022, he had the opportunity to do what he is doing. So since 2022, now we are in 2023, right? We are in 2023. Okay, let's say he gained momentum 2021. 2022 now, he is telling you he's going to give you Biafra. He has Biafra army. He has military, he has that. Ask yourself, how long does it take to build military? To the extent that only 2 years, it took them 2 years to prepare this military that is going to take over, take you to war and come back. He has, how long? These are the things you need to be asking yourself. How long will it take him? At least if it was Mazen Nnamdi Kanu telling you such thing, he has been there for more than a decade. At least it is, you will actually, believe it. But somebody 2 years to build an army to go to war. 2 years, 2 years. 24 months to build an army to go and face a sovereign nation. Is that not laughable? Is that not stupidity? The more you support this guy, the more people around you who hold you in high esteem will know that you are useless. Very, very useless. That is exactly what you are doing to yourself. Believe you me. That is exactly what you are doing to yourself. We cannot use lies and deceit to get ourselves to freedom. We cannot use false hope to get ourselves to go to freedom. No, we cannot. We can only be truth and honest to ourselves. If not for anybody, to ourselves. You can't continuously to be, if the need to on, you'll be making mouth all the time. I will do this, I will do that. I will fly the plane, I will do this thing. At the end of the day, you don't do anything. Only thing you could do is market women. You go and be killing market women, destroying their means of livelihood. And tomorrow they will run and say, Professor Lumumba, Joshua Mopanga, they are talking about Biafra. It is because of the job their crime minister is doing. Dude. Do you know what it takes? Do you know what is politics of the world? Do you know what is objectivity when you are actually teaching your people? You don't know. The only thing Simon knew was they give him information that governor of Imo State was a criminal before. He would just come and expose it. Exposition is not actually, being, not being politically correct, but being objective in actually creating awareness about your initiatives and your quest to emancipate your people from the shackle of neo-colonialism and the amalgamation by British in 1914. It is through that teaching that people will buy your, they will actually invest in your initiative. They will pay attention to understand that there is something here. These people, they have something they are fighting for. It is not about anti-African unity, but rather it is about breaking the chain and the yoke of neo-colonialism, breaking the status quo that was set up by these neo-colonialists that they are using to control these people. Because we tell you, if your hand will lead you to sin, cut it off. The only thing that is leading us to slavery and the sin is the amalgamation of 3 different nations in Nigeria. And if we cut it off, we will actually move forward. We will move forward. The military that was killed in Nigeria, we're going to talk about them tomorrow if we have time. In the evening, again, maybe between 7 and 8 o'clock Biafra time. And we are going to bring this program to an end. We saw your comment, and we know there are a lot of moles in the comment section that is actually, they are the part of the autopilot, the deceived moles. that are in the autopilot talking rubbish. Autopilot leader told you that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told him to continue doing what he's doing. Have you wondered what is the reason why this Ekperima have not come to, fight Ejimako? Dirty, just like you always do. Have you wondered why? Okay, we are still following the issue. We are still following the issue. We will find out. We will find out. But at the end of the day, bear in mind that whatever these people are doing is anti the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They are against the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they know the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is going to shut down their criminal activities and double agents network that they are using. So, but that is the reason why, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not released, this upcoming court proceeding, we will now be sure that both to the executive in Nigeria, both to the judiciary and both to the legislatures, they are involved in the heinous crime, in the banditry that is being racketeering our communities in Biafra land. And we will open up the can of worm. We will actually, we will follow them and we will expose all their criminal activities. It is not a threat. They should do the needful. If Malami should be a criminal or a suspected criminal, if I must say it that way, and he finished his tenure as Attorney General in a nation, convicting people, charged of laundering money to their offshore accounts, which I read for you here. And then he finished his tenure. He didn't step aside. And the same man is the man who stayed execution on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu case. Is he going to come to actually amend more charges? What are you going to call such thing? What are you going to call such thing? In Britain, does such thing happen in Britain? No, it doesn't. Release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and give us a date for referendum. Because we are tired of this hypocrisy of the people in Nigeria. We are a peaceful movement. All we are asking for is referendum. Let people decide. It is one man, one vote. Let people decide, do they want to be in Nigeria? It is the only thing we are asking for. Let people decide. Then we will now know what we are doing. But the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a task that must be done. And I believe that we will play our part, whichever means possible that we are going to carry it out. We will play our part. And we've been resolute, fighting criminality, showing the world that we are not the criminals. We are not the miscreants. They create the miscreant in order to blame it on us. And we will win. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, it is very, very important that we must continue this awareness. We cannot get tired now. We continue to push until something happens. Because mind emancipation is a step closer. In fact, mind emancipation is the first freedom that you will achieve. Mind emancipation. Once your mind emancipated, you will not be able to sabotage your person. You will not be able to collect money to sell your people out. You will know what is the value of collective effort. You will not understand what is the importance of collective, collectivity. and togetherness and love for one another, you will understand that the Bible says, love thy neighbor as you love thyself. You will not love yourself and sell yourself out. So if you love those our people, your neighbor, you will never sell any black man out. You will never actually kill any black man. They will never give you money to go and sell your fellow black man you do. Because now, mind emancipation will bring you to that. You will know, no, how can I kill this person? Who is going to back me up when a war break out against us and our enemy? No. That's why you must mind emancipate. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed. Bye for now.